Now it's being recorded.
Now that's what I'm expecting to see.
Okay. Michaelin.
Hello.
Hmm. I know
Okay.
Jeffrey said he was planning to come today,
Okay.
Awesome.
and he had a client last week, but he said he was going to come. Let me just check my emails to make sure.
He's often a minute or two late, so
Hmm. Yeah,
I'm kind of expect that.
I have a lot of grace for that, so
Yeah.
it doesn't bother me. But I do want to check my email if I can find it, just to make sure. Huh. Oh, that's so funny that the I set I set the thing to go out an hour before our meeting, but it went out at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. That's funny. The reminder, the link for the
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, I saw it early. I saw it this morning.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Thank you
Okay.
for putting in the meeting ID and passcode.
I put it in other places, but it just wasn't in that one. So yeah, I'm glad. Thanks for letting me know that you wanted it so I could do it.
Yeah.
And let's see. Well, you know what? They'll get here when they get here. Let's take a minute to to be present. I'm because I'm needing this for myself as I'm realizing my mind wants to be in a place and time other than this moment. So I'm going to allow my attention to detach from the past moment. Going to allow my attention to let go of any thoughts of the future moments. And I'm just going to breathe my energy into my body in this moment. I invite you to breathe in your own energy into this space in time, fully in this current moment, current of time. And allow everything that's not supportive, anything that's not your energy, to sort of wiggle its way out. As you breathe yourself in, just allow what's not you to exit. Gently reclaiming your own energy, gently reclaiming your time, breathing in the fullness of this moment. This moment with yourself and with each other. But when you feel fully filled up with your own energy, allow it to wiggle into all the little spots. You can open your eyes and join the room. Hmm. Welcome. So I'm going to start with just Michael, and I want to say thank you for being present in my dreams with your activation code.
Welcome.
It was very like, oh, another element of like how people get out of their, let go of their power in big family parties and whatnot. Um, I, I think I shared in my post that in my dream, I was like at the party. I don't know if I told you the details, but I was having a party and um, Dominic was in charge of cooking. And he had this really cool little book that he had that he thought it was like the greatest thing in the world. It was like a portable grill that cooked one hamburger at a time. And he cooked one hamburger at a time on this little grill.
Oh boy.
And as he was drinking and having a good time, and you came over and you said you gotta, feed people or they're gonna leave, And I was like, oh. And my focus was on like pointing at Dominic for not getting the food ready, right? For not being prepared. And I was not
Mhm.
in my power. I had abdicated the whole thing. And so it was just so funny. And when I asked him, the funny part to me, and Dominic and I were laughing. I said, Dominic, how many how many hamburgers have you made? He says, I made three. I'm like, great, where are they? I can start passing them out. And he's like, I ate them.
Oh my God.
It's like, dude,
Wow.
you're not paying attention to anything here. And,
Oh
we've
man.
been laughing about it because it was just such a funny, not real scenario. But there were so many elements in it that were very real. Hi, Katie.
Hi, I'm going off camera, but I'm here for a
No,
little bit.
I love you. Thank you.
I love you.
Anyway, so that was, and you were very clear in your matriarch energy, and you were letting me know, like, kind of what needs to happen.
Hmm.
Actually, you said you need to delegate some things, is what you said. You need to
Mhm.
delegate, and or people are going to leave. You need to delegate the cooking, or people are going to leave. And I'm like, delegating. I'm like, just gave it all to Dom.
Yeah.
Delegating anything. And as soon as you said that, I realized I had like a griddle. I could have grilled because we were indoors for whatever reason. I had all these ideas of how we could get more burgers on the thing, and I could delegate. And you were saying like, yeah, like the people will feel like they participated and that they were a part of it, and that will give them a sense of purpose. I was like, dang, didn't even think of any of that.
Yeah.
In
That's so
I
true.
like to be the fun person. I like to have a good time, right? I don't want to be in the planning
Mhm.
mode. So, anyways,
Yeah.
I wanted to share that because it feels very connected. Well, I mean, it was all about your activation, matriarch energy.
I'm so glad I showed up for you. That's awesome.
No, I know, and that doesn't happen very often. I rarely dream,
Hmm.
rarely dream about things connected to work, but that's happening more often. So I'm appreciating
Interesting.
how Mercury retrograde is showing up with people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so interesting that just to respond to that for a moment about my own experience this week, because it's Thanksgiving and we all have 11 people here in the house, and there's no need for me to be responsible for cooking, anything
Right.
really.
Right.
So I did go shopping today and I was just a tiny bit resentful about picking up things for my kids to cook, but I did it. But I have delegated every item on the menu, every single item for myself and for Linda.
So well
So our kids will be cooking everything, even the turkey. And that's traditionally been my job, right? And I was happy. I
Yeah.
was happy to pass it off because Connor made this amazing turkey on Saturday for Friendsgiving with the recipe that, of course, I gave him.
Uh-huh.
And it was so good that I said, well, I think you should make this for Thanksgiving. And he's like, okay.
Oh.
And I noticed that, my kids suck it up. They love it. They love that sense of empowerment and sharing and being invested in the holiday. And I'm just sweeping Alinda and her family along with us and not giving them any choice in the matter. In fact, I called the kids individually and asked them what they wanted to cook. I did not go through Linda.
Yeah,
I've
that's
always
good.
gone through Linda, who's a massive control freak. And I didn't this time. And it was a little uncomfortable. And I realized what I was doing. And I made my point. And I told her in a text, I go, we are wearing crowns for Thanksgiving because
Good
we've
for you.
delegated everything. And now we can just sit back and supervise and drink champagne with our crowns on. And she's like, that sounds awesome. And now I'm letting it go and it'll be whatever it'll be. And I'll jump in and I'll do 15 different things. I know. And so will she. But I've made my point and I have delegated as know from your dream.
Well,
It's
I
a
do.
joy.
I do know from my dream. Thank you
It's
for.
it's very powerful to delegate. It's very powerful. I don't know that I've really experienced that before, how powerful it is to delegate something, to
Yeah.
determine the next
Mhm.
generation or the next iteration of whatever
Yeah.
activation is going on.
So good.
Mm-hmm. Kind of
So good.
godly.
The
Mm-hmm.
thing I like about that as a matriarch is that you're including them their contributions matter to everybody, right? You're not the
Mm-hmm.
one doing it. They're doing stuff and their contributions. I mean, they're going to get praise for it, right? I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
they're going
Oh
to get
yeah.
praise and acknowledgement, but that feeling of belonging or being part of, that's the delegating that they get to be part of this creation. Feels really cool. I like that part of it a lot.
Thank you. And
Yeah,
it's interesting, it's my activation. It's also a reaction to something that didn't happen when I was growing up. Like when I
Oh,
asked, what can I contribute? And my aunts would always say, oh, we got everything covered. Don't worry about it. It's like, just, slap me across the face and tell me that I don't matter because you're
right.
not even willing to have me participate and contribute. It was not a good feeling. So I remember
No bonding.
no
yeah.
bonding.
I had similar experience, but they wanted me to help for a couple of years, probably, I'll say. And I just really sucked at all the things that they wanted me to help with, like washing dishes. I like was a horrible dishwasher. They were always like, "Oh, you missed this," or you got to do this, or and it was like stressful for everybody. So, but there, I wasn't cooking either. God, that would have been horrible as well. But times are changed. I'm a different person.
And I just want to say that modeling the matriarch is about showing, I mean,
Yeah.
you're in charge, you delegated, right? Like
Mhm.
it was your show to say, okay, here, this is
Mm.
what we're doing. This is
Mhm.
what, and so it allows contribution, but it also is leadership and being in
Mhm.
charge and like taking care of yourself, modeling that, like, yeah,
Mm.
you're all going to do this. And that is just so empowering. And it is the essence of the matriarch to
Mhm.
model that, to include, to bring people along, to guide.
Yeah.
By your
Yes.
delegation, it is
Yes.
guidance. And then there's like a beginning, middle, and an end, and people can experience like the magic of being a part of something and to be trusted to
Yeah.
take this
Yeah.
on when you've handled it like a boss, like a loving boss
Mhm.
for you know their whole lives. So what a gorgeous like baton handoff right? Of saying welcome into being a part of rather than just showing up and being served. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Last thing I'll say is this definitely bridges over to our work, right? Our work in the world, all of us, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not just about like one day I decided I'm going to delegate. It's based on years of teaching,
Uh-huh.
right? It's years of indoctrination and teaching and inculcating values into my kids and my friends. And then they're ready for it,
Oh, yeah. You're not
right?
just
They're
dropping it on them
ready.
one day.
And doesn't that apply to our work too? Isn't that what we want for our clients?
Oh,
You know, we
absolutely.
Yes.
teach and teach and teach and model, model, model. And then when they take the reins, it's pretty fucking cool to watch that happen.
And your kids have been participating in meal prep for a while. It's not
Always, yeah.
a sudden thing.
Yeah, bigger and bigger responsibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Thank God, because then, as you and I have probably talked about more than once, they're prepared to leave home and not have to depend on somebody else to take care
That's
of them.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right. Whose activation code do we want to appreciate and talk
I
about
have a
next?
question because on the chart that you sent, you had lightning for mine, and I thought it was lighten. I know it has the same kind of meaning, but did you write it down when you did it as lightning?
It is
I just
lightning
have
on your
lighten.
wall, isn't it?
No, it's just lighten. So that's okay. I mean, I'm
I
just,
I will triple check, but I thought it was lightening, like Michelin's is softening.
right.
But I'm gonna look. I'm gonna seek it out right now. I could be wrong, but I write it all down. Except for that one. Except for I don't have that one written down and I don't.
Well, we did it on my couch in the living room, so you may not have written it down. And you didn't ever send me anything, like your chart things that you do with it. So that's okay. I'm fine with lightning. I just had remembered it as lighten. And so,
I thought I've only heard lightening. I don't remember ever hearing lighten.
okay.
They are different a little bit.
They are.
Hmm.
Lighten feels like lighten up. That's the
Well,
image that I have about it.
so
Hmm.
I feel like we might have had this conversation before, and you told somebody what it was, and you were differentiating between lightning and lightening. So I'm certain that it has not been lightened.
Okay.
Yeah. And I apologize for not editing it in your house. If the I thought for sure it had lightning, but huh. So who wants to celebrate their activation code next?
Mm.
Who feels or want to celebrate somebody else's activation code? Because I just jumped on Michelin's and celebrated the matriarch energy. Hmm,
Well, I wrote about abundance last night when I posted.
you did.
Which
Hmm.
is, yeah, felt a little new for me. It felt like, oh, I've had an experience of that. Just yesterday, noticing abundance in like positively and negatively, but a lot of something, right? You had said that once, I think. It's a
Yep.
lot of something. And I had a lot of gratitude and joy because I spent the day with, the kids and it was just great and took the girls for pedicures and it was just I was so full of joy in that abundance. And then later when I was feeling my body and feeling some of the discomfort in that, I'm like, wow, there's just so much there. And I went, oh, there's an abundance of that too. And would I choose to have just a little of something? I can't do just a little of this, a little discomfort because I don't want a little bit of joy. A lot of joy. So does that mean I have to have a lot of discomfort? Are they linked? How do I how do
Hmm.
I adjust the volume, right, of abundance? Is that
Hmm.
possible? I don't know.
Yeah,
Brought up a lot of questions.
that's so good. So I will tell you, my response is going to be probably mental. I can feel it's coming in through the mental layers and
Mhm.
how I have been trained, conditioned, right, to look at abundance through a mental framework. When I'm looking at an abundance of pain, and I would rather it be softer, less but I'm noticing the abundance of it, the heaviness of it or the bigness of it. I just the question that I ask is, here's abundance showing up. Well, where would I like abundance? Where would I like my attention and my abundant attention to be, as opposed to this abundant moment? Like, what else? Abundant health. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. What's the opposite of this pain? Oh, abundant. What is the word that's opposite of pain? Right? Abundant freedom from pain. That's close, right? Like and oh yeah, wait, there's a little tiny part of my nose that does not feel pain. And this is definitely how I have managed pain in my life, is always like a lot abundant consciousness. Like I can go into other places with my awareness. And it's very mental, but it helps me.
I
So,
don't think you have to tie joy to pain. I don't think that's a requirement.
I hope not. They just happened to just be smashed up against each other yesterday. So I went, oh, it felt like there was a relationship, but
oh,
maybe there isn't. And I just
mm,
was making that because I had this like extreme
experience.
difference. Or I really like this one, I really don't like this one, but they're both abundant.
Something to say about that.
I'd
Mm.
love to hear it.
Yeah, I don't think it's almost like um hold on, because I'm doing so many things. I'm stopping for a sec so I can center. Um it's the shadow and the light. We can't have one without the other. So it's not like for me, this is how I perceive it. So it's like if I'm going to feel all the things and experience all the things, and abundance has been really big in my world, it is both and. It is an acceptance of like, yes, there can be abundance of loss, there can be abundance of pain, there can be an abundance of joy and turn on. And it's dancing with it in a state of the practice for me is just acceptance and being with it and moving through it to the best of my ability. There's something that wants to be
Mm.
felt and seen and experienced. And it's not like, oh, I don't like this, but I like this, right? Oh, I don't like what this is, but I like what this is and I want more of what I like. And I think um, being in the flow of experiencing and feeling what we're being asked to experience and feel is abundant, right? Like, and trying to manage it does not feel abundant for me.
Oh,
Um,
I love that higher perspective. Thank you, Katie.
yeah. But I'm the shadow
Mm.
dancer, so I'm like, okay, like I can like I'm so clear these days on the benefit of I hate it. It's not like I go, oh, I'm so excited. I just learned to surrender to it. It's like, oh, like my foot. I'm not thrilled that my foot is in a lot of pain, and I got the boot off, and she's like, "Oh yeah, your recovery is like another 4 to 8 months." I'm like, "Oh, wow. that's interesting. And then I started to walk on it, and there was an abundance of pain. And so now I'm moving consciously with my foot. Like I feel like I'm bringing my foot that didn't feel connected to my body when my boot came off, right? I was like, whoa, like my legs were really wobbly. I hadn't used my foot in 6 weeks. So I'm bringing my foot along and just nurturing her and staying aware, because that awareness is what I'm being asked to to be. I'm asked to be aware because I want to move. So I must tune in to my well-being and care as I am in discomfort. But it feels very abundant to be able to be at the gym, to do a third of what I normally do, right? Because that's what the doctor said. She said, I want you to do a third of what you normally do at a third of the intensity. So
Well,
I'm having a whole new experience,
Wow.
right? Of like my body mechanics, which feels very abundant. Like I didn't have this experience before.
oh, yeah.
Right. So there's this abundance of, oh, there's more to experience and to navigate and to move through in a different way that actually is going to be part of my
Mm,
well-being. So I don't know if that has made much sense. It makes a lot of sense to me, but it's like, I don't
mm.
know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what I just said.
Are you talking to Michael? And I have thoughts, but I think you're talking
Yeah,
to
I'm
Michael
talking to
and
all whoever wants to jump in.
Go ahead, Don.
well, I'm so glad that Katie's bringing her higher perspectives in because I don't, I don't intentionally want to bypass, right? Like bypass the pain. I just happen to be in a very abundant place right now where I have been pretty much pain-free for a while and for the first time in my life. And it is a miracle.
Yeah.
And when you were talking, Katie, it reminds me of like what you were saying is there's an abundance of ways to kind of move my body in different ways that I haven't even considered before, like different speeds, different movements. I mean, this is not exactly what you said, but this is what I was sensing and hearing. Um, and plantar fasciitis. We'll just take that for instance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many people have plantar fasciitis, and I have like one thing that I think causes it, which is putting your feet up on bar stools or whatever that has a line in it, and without shoes on your feet. And I'm just like, just put shoes on your feet, or you're gonna get plantar fasciitis. But there's the either have shoes on and uh, or not have shoes on, but there's like a whole abundant round, like a whole abundant of ways that you could actually use your feet without activating the plantar fasciitis or making it worse that we don't think of. We think it has to be shoes or no shoes. Like, for me, it's shoes or no shoes. I don't know if any of this is making any sense, but it just feels like there's these tiny movements that we don't have complete awareness of that can change so much. That's what I feel.
That is really what I was saying. So thank you for reflecting that back. It's like, oh my God, I didn't like my range of motion is totally limited in my foot. So I can't do like these certain things. And even swimming after 10 laps was like, whoa, that is really fucking painful. And I just was like, and it was abundant. And I was like, wow, but here's the difference. And I'm not always here, but it's like I just am in such a state of acceptance of like, I am so fucking grateful to be back in the water
Mm.
that I'm okay experiencing what I'm experiencing because I'm going to do what I need to do in an abundant way to honor the process of my rehabilitation. And even though it feels limiting, it is so abundant to be
Mm.
fucking back in all of the things. Like I brag, I was at the gym today and I did weights for the first time in 7 weeks. And I was just so empowered. And I had a whole another experience of appreciation because I was away from it for 7 weeks. So all of a sudden,
Mm.
I'm like, whoa, this like a kid, like this is so cool, right? And I was just listening to music and dancing, which I don't normally do at the gym, right? I had my headphones on and I'm just like boogieing because I was like really overjoyed to, and I'm doing everything a third, right? And then I did the incumbent bike and that felt really good. And I usually drip sweat, but I didn't. I was like, oh,
Mm.
I'm like, it's an invitation into options and into being able to have your needs met, but in a new and exciting way. So anyway, that's,
Mm.
and I've been on the opposite end of things where I'm pissed off that I don't get to do it my way, right? That I'm like, fuck, this is like totally taking me down. But
Mm.
there's something in this 21-day process. I cannot remember feeling so full of
Mm.
myself.
That's the whole purpose.
Right? And like, yeah, it was really interesting after last week's call or the one before about abundance. And it just, oh, okay, my friends are here. So I love you. I've got to go.
Good to see you,
Okay.
Deb. Take
Okay,
care.
bye.
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 It was great for her to pop in.
Yeah. I think what she's saying, what I'm hearing is this difference between maybe black and white or polarized thinking. Isn't Jeffrey's activation polarity?
Polarity.
Yep.
Yeah, or one of them. Like either or, black, white, off on to seeing all the colors in between, like to seeing like abundance is a way of seeing all the possibilities and all the degrees in between that, which is a
Yeah.
real state of like it's a sign of nervous system regulation when you can do that.
Mm.
Coming out of stress, it could also be overwhelming, right? There's conditioned and liberated
Yeah.
path and everything. Yeah, so I'm seeing some nuances to abundance that I had not seen before. I just thought before I was like all good things, lots of good things.
Oh. Well, yes. And that's a that's amazing.
I'm hearing abundance of things you like and want versus abundance of things you don't like and don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's still a lot of something.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's an expanded view. Yeah.
when Pamela, I'm remembering this moment. Pamela and I were in if she when she was living in the desert, as she calls it. When she was living in the desert.
Well, it was the desert.
I know. I don't even know which desert. She's been in many deserts, but this
Hmm.
was the desert that I came to visit her. And we were talking about how there's a full spectrum. And the word Pamela brought that in, like a
Mhm.
full spectrum of experience on any one of our activation codes. It's like because we have, and I'm going to go to your body confidence
Mm,
activation code.
mm,
there's there's if you have access to a full spectrum of experiences around body confidence and that that is it is a lot, right? There's a lot in that. You're experiencing a whole library of wisdom is how the activation codes are coming, that you have that and you're going, there's no requirement that you experience everything about body confidence, but you're
mm,
activating it. So you're most likely going to experience or witness or, um, even read about
mm.
other stories about um, am paying attention to. Your attention probably goes there more than it goes other places. So that's a lot of
Mhm.
energy. It's a lot of energy that you have for paying attention to your body and how
Mhm.
confident you feel. And there's a full spectrum of that. So um, it reminds me of life. Like you said in your post, I think. In your post, didn't you say this is life? Didn't you end it with, I think
I
you
think
did.
Pamela's comment on
You
mine said
said
something
that.
about that.
No,
Did
I
I?
No,
was I said it in response to Michaelin's.
yeah, you did.
Oh,
You said
yeah, it
that in
was you.
response to Michaelin. Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it, but it was, yeah, this is life. That was the last thing you said on your
Hmm.
on the abundance act. Like this is life. When you're fully experiencing life, I mean, I'm projecting my chronic euphoria onto all of it, right? So when I'm in that state of chronic euphoria, life is blissful, all of it, all of the crap, all of the joy, because I get to live it and I get to love the life that I have. It's, to me, that's choice. And if I'm going to bring in somebody's other activation code, that would be Deb's, and just how I have
Choice.
choice. And there's like a full spectrum choice of how do I want to feel about this? Do I want to feel beaten? Do I want to feel defeated? Do I want to feel joyful? And do I want to feel like, do I want to feel abundant? Like, fuck yeah, I just had that experience. That kind of sucked, but man, I'm over it, or man, I'm in it, or man, I'm getting ready for it, or just but I'm a little excitable too, so it's easier for me to get excited about things. Pamela, how are
I was gonna say the spectrum, which of course I apply to fingerprints and every
Mhm,
marking in the hands as well. And every marking has its full spectrum. It's not on or off, yes or no, right? It's
right.
a full spectrum experience. And so the activation codes, of course, would make sense. That's true. Um, and yeah, and we get to tune into where we are on the spectrum. And do we want to change where we are? Right? I remember
Right.
years ago listening to Abraham talking about moving up the emotional scale. Like they had an agenda of having people move up the scale. Well, that's not always a realistic option, but I understand what their purpose was in doing that. So the feeling of spectrum feels like there's no judgment about where you are on it. And that's to me is where the relief comes. Okay, I'm on this part of the spectrum. Like I don't have to move. I don't have to change it. I don't have to, unless I want to, unless
Right.
I feel inspired. But I don't have to judge myself as being a problem because I'm in a certain place. And I think that's, something I certainly grew up with in a culture, and the advertising world certainly brings that about all the time is, here's the problem, you need to fix it. And part of my personal growth process has been, oh, okay, I'm here. Do I want to change it? Not about fixing it or not fixing it, is do I want to change it? Am I okay with where I am? Am I okay that yesterday I wanted to clean up the kitchen and I didn't, so I did it this morning and I felt good about doing that, right? Because it was in right timing for my body and I had the energy to do it. And yesterday I would have been forcing it. So it's just paying attention to where I am and what feels aligned. And so to me, that's where the sweet spot piece shows up. It's, what's the sweet spot? Maybe the sweet spot for me sometimes is complaining and bitching and moaning and being pissed off and angry about something. Maybe that's the sweet spot, you know?
Mm,
Sometimes that is a sweet spot.
isn't
Bitching and complaining and moaning and groaning.
Yeah.
I to me, the sweet spot is just being able to appreciate, like this is what we're doing here. Appreciate myself no matter where the fuck I am on that spectrum, right? Like just being like, oh, yeah, and like one of the most spacious, I will say, spacious places that we can be is just being aware. Like, you know, self-appreciation when I first started coming in was like, if you just appreciate your awareness. Like
Mhm.
that's the goal. If you can't appreciate the action, appreciate the awareness. If you can't appreciate the beingness, appreciate the awareness. And that's abundant. Hmm.
Now, that's a good conversation about abundance, is appreciating where you are, right? I haven't heard that applied to abundance before, but that feels good.
It feels good to me. Also, Michaelin, my husband, I'm going to tell you this because you're looking beautiful today.
Thank you.
So, and this is one of the things that my husband always says, like, I don't have any problems. I look this good, you know, you know. So maybe you can just look in the mirror and say, what kind of problems do I have? Well, look at this. Look at this. You know,
Yeah,
there's nothing. What else? I got it all. I got
I
this.
got it all. Yeah, I got it all.
Anyways,
Hmm.
celebrating you look beautiful.
Thank you.
So,
Your
yeah.
hair looks really red in that particular lighting, at least on my screen. Well,
Yeah,
on
those
both
on
my
mine too.
screens. Yeah,
I think it looks good.
I do have a fair amount of red in my hair.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm on fire.
Yeah.
On
Mhm.
Alexis does it in
Yeah, that's
extremes,
right.
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, are there other activation codes we want to celebrate, appreciate, bring into this
Well,
conversation?
I was just contemplating polarity because, I've been known about this for 10 years or something about Jeffrey's polarity. And sometimes I seek connection with him because I want an opposite or different or stretched out perspective.
Hmm.
And so my experience of what happens when I get into the polarity activation is that it brings in an expanded view of things I haven't considered or taken into account, and it's kind of like going to both ends of the spectrum, like going from here to here, right? Both ends of the spectrum. And I'm kind of like here, but I'm needing some input from what's going to happen if I consider it or look at it from this viewpoint. And there is no way I could talk with Jeffrey and not have that happen
Hmm.
on some level, on some conversation, on some topic. And I know that. And I remember when he and I were living together and talking about our activation codes at one point. And just, there are times when, like, he didn't want to be around my sweet spot and I didn't want to be around his polarity. Like, I have no bandwidth to handle that stretched viewpoint right now. It's too much. And so being conscious of, he's there, it's in the field. Why don't I think I'm going to go in my office and close the door, or I'm going to zone out on watching something on TV because I can't handle that right now. It's too much.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can share how I experience the polarity activation and his specific polarity activation. It's, when we think of polarity, there's up and down, right? And when he's in the space, he's activating both at the same time, both up and down. And the really cool thing I think about his polarity activation is his energy allows us to be conscious that we are holding things as either or, right? Like this is here, so I can't go there. And his whole work is about bridging bridging the gaps. So it's not either or yes or no, it's and. Like, yes, there's an up and there's a down. And uh like his work with I don't know, I can't think of the specific examples he uses, but how he's got a client who's a lawyer, and they're also like super conscious human design person. And I can't do this and this. I have to choose one or the other. And that's the stretch of the polarity that he activates, is that sense that there's these two things in the field, and they're really pulling. I'm imagining and feeling them pulling into each other, and his energy is like an invitation to be like, and like, you can't be an attorney and a human design person for, all attorneys, or moving things into a new field. And that's how I experience it. But that's just one, um, it's my experience of his polarity activation. So yeah, I sometimes don't want to be in his field if I'm not willing to move, or, like to go right? Like I can do both of those things when I'm still wanting to be like, either or shutting a part of myself down. Um, yeah, like when he first gave me the maverick word, and I was so like, no, 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 Jeffrey, I'm an enlightened being. I was, my people were luminaries, and you're all luminaries, and you are all luminaries, right? But that was my branding at the time, was I help luminary leaders. Jeffrey's like, girl, you're a little bit like, where's this rebel part of you? I'm like, no, no, not that part, not that part, not that. And he's like, your people are mavericks. I'm like, I mean, so that was like bridging the gap. Like, yeah, we're luminaries, we're seekers, but we're also like little badasses. We got a little bit of thinking outside the box going on. And that made that one thing helped me like, oh, like integrate, I guess, those polarities, like the reckless rebel, which is who I was growing up, and the luminary, who I aspired to be. So that was the bridge for me.
I'm thinking of the poles of the
Yeah.
earth,
Mhm.
polarity, and without them, everything collapses. There isn't anything. Like there's always both. And I don't think of up and down. I think it's always been left right to me for some reason. Like I
Okay.
always see it this way. So it's funny when you said up and down, I went, oh no, that's not right. And but the earth, like the poles are, well, whatever way the earth is, but they're part of the same system, right? It's one system that has two poles on
Hmm.
it. There's always a system that contains those poles. And so our maybe stuckness in one pole or one place is just not acknowledging that the other already exists as long as the other, as long as this one does, that one does too. They don't exist in isolation. So it's
Yeah.
good for me to hear this and think this. Like it's not, it may feel new, but it's really just a recognition of this balance,
Yeah.
right? That there's always that balance by going to the extremes, to the poles.
Hmm.
It's really interesting to use that in client work or just in relationships. When someone is in a place that is uncomfortable for them, it's like bring them to the other pole
Yeah.
and have them consider this other perspective, which then brings it all into balance. It's not just, oh, it's like a teeter totter and all the weight's on one side.
Right.
We feel that way sometimes because we get myopic in how we're looking at it. But once we bring in the other side, it's the same thing with the spectrum for hand analysis that Pamela and I both
Hmm.
do, which is let's explore the whole realm of possibility for this marking, and then you get to choose where you want to hang out.
Yeah,
What do
that's
you
nice.
want from it? Where do you want to be? And yeah, you're stuck here because of this self-limiting view.
Mm-hmm.
But just put on your cool, clear dawn glasses, right? And then you can see like there are all these other opportunities, choices. There's an abundance of choice. Ooh, abundance of choice. There's an abundance of choice in how we maneuver, move through our lives.
I'm with you. I don't see the up and down at all of polarity. That language doesn't resonate with me at all. And I also see
And
this, I've
literally, when I
always
think
seen
of
it
up
as,
and down, yeah.
Yeah.
When I think of up and down, I think of two sides of a coin. There's the heads and the
Hmm.
tails, right? So,
yeah, I see it as a spectrum. Just like,
Hmm.
mhm.
okay, I'm over here and I'm focusing on this and oh, there's this over here.
Hmm.
Well, kind of, so it's very connected to your sweet spot. If you think about your sweet spot activation, Pamela, very similar. You bring the sweet spot of where it feels the most like nurturing and lovely and like
Aligned is the word I would use.
what was the word?
Aligned.
Aligned, right? And so, and Jeffrey's is he's bringing his energy is bringing awareness to the to where we're feeling not aligned, right? Like the
Hmm.
polarity of, and I'm also think when I think of that, I think of the masculine and the feminine, right?
Yeah.
So it's not it's not that one of them is bad or better or worse. It's we got to get them working together. So um yeah, so it's amazing, Pamela, when I think of you and Jeffrey doing work together, like that really is a powerful combination of activation codes
Yeah.
to help your clients.
I think it's why we could live together.
Probably exactly why you can live together.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
because, I can't live with just anybody, nor could he, right? So, I mean, I've
I
tried,
agree.
I've had some really awful housemates. And so I
Oh
know.
my gosh, I have too. I have been an
Me
awful
too.
housemate.
So yeah, but yeah, and the other piece of this for me is the freedom that comes with permission to explore expanded perspectives.
Mm,
It's like
Mm.
knowing I'm going to hear something. There are two pieces. Knowing I'm going to hear something that is outside the box of where I currently am. Okay, I'm asking for that. I'm expecting that. That's going to happen. And the other piece is that, like I say with hands, nobody is ever surprised by anything I tell them.
mhm.
And it feels the same way with this thing. I'm not surprised, most of the time, but what Jeffrey will say or what energy comes up. It's just I may have had some inkling about it, or I hadn't languaged it, or I hadn't given it any energy, but when I hear it, it's not like it's like, what the hell are you talking about? That's not usually the case. Unless unless it's explained in a way that I don't get. But usually by the time I grasp what the concept is, it's not so far out of my consciousness or out of my field that I have no idea how to relate to it.
Right.
And so I think the gift of that activation is that it's he's creating his energy creates space for the field to be open to things that are in an expanded part of my field, but just haven't come into consciousness or been language, which is one of the things I say about
Mhm.
hands all the time. It's like, I'm not telling you anything I don't know, but I might be languaging it in a way you've never heard it before, right? And so or connecting the dots in ways that haven't been connected before. So it feels like it wouldn't be possible for me to be moving into something that isn't already around in my field somehow, but just hasn't been languaged or brought into consciousness or whatever. So, because what he would tell me versus what he might tell you is very different because of who you are and your activations and what you're up
Oh,
against
yeah.
and what your work is, and but it's going to relate to, which is why his higher wisdom, his higher purpose activation fits so well with that because he can bring it all in with that higher purpose of why he's in touch with me at the moment versus any one of his clients or friends or whoever. That's my experience of it.
Mm, me too. I'm gonna see if I can pop in the image of our, can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
The image of our
That's
activation
much
codes.
bigger.
Yeah. See, I don't know how to get this thing off of here, but maybe I'll just click on it. Does that work if I click on it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so is there anyone that we haven't talked about? I mean, we have, or that we want for this week as we go into Thanksgiving, being around a lot of other people.
Who is closing loose ends?
Nancy.
That's Nancy.
Nancy, right.
Her
I would
activation.
activate that for myself, get with the end of the year coming up.
Me too. Her
Yeah.
That activation code has been super supportive. I've been feeling it like, it helps me like
Hmm.
send it the freaking email. It's been helping
Right.
me like just the little things
Hmm.
that you know need to be done. And if I'm not uh for me it's really good because I don't do well with, accountability or all these other words that means, somebody else has got like authority, right? I want the authority. So closing loose ends is like, oh, it's inside of me. I get to choose which loose ends I'm closing, and I choose pretty well, right? Like when I'm
Hmm.
in my own energy, I choose pretty well. So I don't always get everything right, but um it's super helpful for me, and it has been.
One of the things
Yeah.
that she and I talked about related to this when I was there with her in March was she also is very comfortable being with people at end of life and
Yeah.
helping kind of close loose ends,
Mm.
Oh, that's great.
sharing
Hmm.
things telling secrets they haven't told her, saying things they need to say, and she could just hold space for it. And
That's
um,
amazing.
yeah, and I really liked that aspect of it because she
Mm,
had shared several stories over at the time that I've known her around how she had done that. And I went, oh, that's a closing loose end. That's another way for that to
Mm,
show up.
yeah.
nice.
Or being with somebody like you were, helping Connor through his stuff with Maddie, right? And there were
Hmm.
some loose ends that needed to get closed so they could move on with whatever their truth was. So, dealing with things that are ending in
Mm,
whatever form that is.
Really nice.
there it is.
Hmm.
Hmm. I'm noticing for myself that I'm going to be with other people, right? And I'm going to be a guest, and somebody else is hosting. And I'm wanting to uh lightening up, like I'm wanting to be supportive and um yeah, I'm not sure what energy I'm like zeroing in on.
Hmm.
Um, but the ones that feel like good for me are while bonding. I'm
Ah.
like, there's
Hmm.
people there that well, there's one person there, my brother's girlfriend, who I haven't met yet. So I would love to bond.
Where's the mashed potatoes and gravy activation? I don't see that on this chart.
It should be there.
What is it?
The
You say,
sweet potato
Michael?
pie activation.
Yeah, for me it'd be mashed potatoes and gravy. Yeah.
Mashed
Could be
potatoes
sweet
and
potato
gravy.
pie for you, Dawn. It could be turkey activation for somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on the chart. That's
What
okay.
what was it that you said?
The mashed potatoes and gravy
Oh,
activation is not on the chart.
I didn't hear that. That's funny.
And of course, I definitely will be aware of all my family's activation codes because
Yes.
that's another thing too. Like, I don't know, I'll stop sharing now since we just looked at it all. Like being around a lot of people that you are aware of their activation codes. And when you're so open, it's like it's can be loud, right?
Hmm.
It can be loud. And we have a choice, I guess, to like turn the volume down a little bit so we don't have to
Hmm.
feel everything so intensely and lighten it up, softening the noise a little. So that
Hmm.
that will be that feels good because
There you go.
my mom is a family activator. My brother is a safe place for love to land. So people are, loud and loving around him, and he's going to be able to host like he's never been able to in his life. And I cannot wait to see that.
Nice.
And yeah.
And Johnny's piece, right?
And Johnny's piece, we'll see.
Mm.
We'll see if he's aligned, bringing it. I mean, he always brings it, but we'll see. We'll see, Johnny. He likes to stir the pot in his peace activation.
Mm.
Maybe he
Polarity.
has another activation that's about stirring the pot.
Mhm.
He does, but it's probably not about actually stirring the pot. I
I
mean,
know.
they're not typically related to what we our actions. Some of them are, but
Yeah.
Have you come up with the language for Katie's new one?
mm. I keep coming up with, oh, do you want to help? Do you guys want to help me do that? Or
I'm
no?
actually feeling like I need to step away
Step
from the
away,
call and just address the other things going on in my day.
take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this feels like a good time to do that. But I'd love to continue, but
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to get off at probably 20 after. but I can get off
Great.
earlier as well.
Well,
Thanks,
good
Michael.
connecting with you
Thank
guys.
you.
Yeah, really lovely seeing you both. Have a
Yeah,
wonderful Thanksgiving and
me
rest of the week.
too.
You too.
I'll see you
Can't
online.
wait to see you in a picture with your crown.
Yeah. Okay. I'll talk to you later.
That'll be great.
Bye.
See ya. Bye. Well, I guess I'll keep it recording. Well, I think I shared with you what came, it's very earthy. Her activation code is very earthy and very, um, like the womb. Um, and there's another woman who activates, gosh, what is it? Earth, earth body, earth body. But I think Katie's is more about, um, keep on saying like the womb of the earth, but I don't know if that's exactly right yet. So no, it hasn't came in.
Okay,
Um, but it's very earthy, very grounded in like how everything kind of returns to the earth, comes from the earth, is birthed from the earth, and is connected through the earth. Like everybody on the planet is actually has our feet on the earth,
right.
except for when they're flying. So it's like it's this earth earth connection, but it's not a connection. It's like a womb. So
Okay.
yeah. Anyways, so
The
how are you
language has
doing?
not come through yet.
What's that?
The language hasn't come through yet.
It hasn't come through exactly yet, but
Okay.
it's percolating.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Mm.
And did you ever get Pete, Jeffrey's husband, Pete? Did that ever come through? It's okay if it didn't. I'm just curious because you were pondering it and talked
Mhm.
about it again. It may not have.
But I'm going to write that down too because that'll give me something to do on the planes. Um, I do well reading activation codes when I'm flying.
Okay,
Sometimes the great visions come when I'm flying in the air.
great.
So yeah. I'm going to stop recording. I want to ask you something.